Hi, my name's Tom. I'm sitting here on the floor of my kitchen because my dishwasher is broken. The cost to repair this dishwasher is actually going to cost more than it will be to actually buy a whole new one. So my wife and I are going to buy a new dishwasher soon. But before we do that, we're going to take this hardwired dishwasher and turn it into an outlet dishwasher, meaning that the new dishwasher we get will be able to just plug right in instead of having it hardwired into the electricity of the house. Having a hardwired dishwasher is actually a little bit of a disadvantage in a couple cases. One, if you need to shut it off quickly, you're going to run out to the breaker box to actually do that. In an emergency or a flooding situation, you don't want to do that. It would be much better to just grab the plug and yank it out. Two, if I want to install a new dishwasher or replace it 5, 6, 7, 8 years down the line, it actually costs a little extra to have an electrician come out to install it or to put the hardwire in. And some repair places, some big box stores won't even do it. So the very first step I want to do before I work on a dishwasher is a simple one, and that is turn off the power. So here we go, I look it up and it's number 10. I flip the breaker, it's now off. So now I should have no power going to that dishwasher in there. So now I'm good to remove the dishwasher, pull it out, take a look at what I have, and see what I have to do next. Now that I have the power out, next step I have to do is I have to actually remove the screws holding the dishwasher into the actual box. And for mine, there's 2 screws at the top. Sometimes there's screws on the side as well. So I'm going to take these screws out. Then my dishwasher should slide back and forth. And then I'll have to look into the supply lines and the drainage line to see what I have to remove. The screws are off, so now I'm going to just slide it out a little bit and see what I have. Looking pretty good, but I'm feeling a little bit of resistance. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the supply line and the drainage lines and probably go ahead and take those off as well. This is hard to see and even harder to film because it's underneath my kitchen sink. But I have a valve here that I can turn on and off, and I've turned it off now, so I shouldn't have any more water. But I also have, here's a supply line. The supply line comes up from the hot water going to my sink in my case. So I'm just going to take this off. There we go. It was actually already loosened with a wrench, so it popped right off. But there's a supply line to the dishwasher. And you notice I also have this boot holder here. It's just a little boot tray that we picked up. We always put these underneath our kitchen sinks in case we get a little bit of a drip. We'll be able to notice the drip and it'll hopefully catch the water before it gets too out of hand. In this case, it actually had a little bit of water coming from the line. And it just dripped into here, and we'll just take it out and clean it up in a second. But here we go. We had to turn off the water and I removed the supply line, so now the dishwasher should come out a little easier. I have one more thing to kind of pull to check in a second here. This is the drainage line for my dishwasher, so the water gets pumped back out of the dishwasher and goes into here, and then it goes out. Again, this is underneath my sink. It's kind of hard to film right now, but I'm going to leave that in because I think I have enough play to actually pull the dishwasher out and not have to remove this. The supply line was definitely tight, but I don't think I need to remove this. We'll find out for sure though. Here is my dishwasher that's been pulled out of the cabinet. And now I have a good view of what I have. I have a drainage line right here coming out of the bottom of my dishwasher. And that goes up, and it goes into the cabinet, and it goes over to the sink next door. I have a supply line, that silver line down there. That's what I unscrewed. That also comes from the sink next to this cabinet. And then I have, right here, an electrical cord coming out of the floor, and it goes underneath the dishwasher and right into this little box. And this little box is the junction box for the power to the dishwasher. So it's hardwired right into it. So right from the wire of the house right into the back of this box. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to actually put a cord on here so the electrical cord can just come on out and plug right into the outlet, so it's a little easier to hook up next time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove this little clamp, or at least loosen it up, because this clamp holds this wire into the box so it doesn't slide back and forth and cause problems. Loosen that up a little bit, loosen this screw, and it should just jiggle there. And then I'm going to go to the front side and we'll see what that looks like. So now I'm on the floor in the front of the dishwasher, and there are 2 screws for mine, one on the right and one on the left. that hold a metal floor plate into place. And there's one, and that I have to remove so that I can get to the front of the electrical box. Okay, front box is off, front bar's off, and I go on and look up, and there's the little electrical box. The electricity comes in from the back, and sure enough, there's one more screw I have to remove, and then I can be able to unhook everything. Okay, the screw has been removed, and I'll take this box off, and you can see that this entire thing is just a little hole. Again, house electric coming in, and we have a black, and we have a white, and we have a ground. And you just connect those three right into the dishwasher. This is what a hardwired is. It's connected right in with a little black to black, white to white, ground to the ground screw, both grounds to the ground screw, and we're good. That is all we have for a hardwired dishwasher. Instead of having the electrical go right into the back of this thing and hardwire into the dishwasher like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have an extension cord tied black, white, ground, and that extension cord will then plug into an outlet, and the outlet will be powered by this very same cord. So first things first, let's go ahead and take the power off of this. When I do this, I usually take black off first. You just unscrew it, pop it off. Again, I do not have any power. My circuits are dead, my breaker's been hit. I take off the white. I'll go ahead and unscrew the ground screw, and we'll be good. I'll pull it out the back, and we'll be good to go. So I'm back beside my dishwasher again, and again, this is the back of the power box where I remove my power cord. Here's my power cord. Here's that box. Here's the clamps, and here's the black and white dishwasher wires. So instead of being hardwired into electricity, I have to actually put a cord in here. And to do that, I'm going to use a little kit. It's called a dishwasher power cord kit. They sell them in the big box stores. They're pretty generic. They're kind of general. And here's what they actually have in them. The way they work is, get off their plastic. Here's where they work. It's just a power cord, 3-prong plug. Nothing special. See? But on the other side is a little plug. You can see that little round gray thing? That will fit into the back of the power box. So I'll take that clamp out. I would take this clamp out, just kind of unscrews. There's a screw on the other side, just kind of unscrews. You take this and you shove it in there, and then I'll have a black, a white, and a green wire, and I'll hook the green wire up to the green screw. I'll hook the black wire up to the black wire. I'll hook the white wire up to the white wire, put the box back on, and I'm done. Now, in my case, this is a junk dishwasher. I'm not going to use it again, so I'm not going to install it. In fact, I'm going to save this for the new install, because when I get a new dishwasher, it won't have a cord on it, but it'll be really easy to hook up, because I'll just throw this little plug in here and be ready to go. In fact, when the installers come, they'll probably do that for me as long as I have an outlet ready to go. So this part of the project is done. I've taken the electric off. The dishwasher is no longer hardwired. In theory, I would put an outlet back in, or I'd put a cord back on, and I'll be ready to go. Now, let's worry about the other end of things. Let's actually wire up a new outlet using that power line that used to go into the dishwasher. Okay, so we know that the power is usually on the right-hand side of the dishwasher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an outlet on the cabinet on the right-hand side of the dishwasher. When I open this up, all I have is pans in here right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these pans, and then I'm going to work to put an outlet way in the back there. There's a couple steps I'll have to follow. But one other thing I'm going to try to plan out here is you can see where the outlet, where the power cord comes out of the middle of the floor. I'm going to move the power to the back so I can pull the power right at the back and then right into that side cabinet. I do have a basement and I have access to this, so it's easy for me to do. If you don't have this, this is kind of an optional step. If you can't move the wire, don't worry about it. But for me, I have access to it, so I am going to move the wire. All right. So, again, I'm going to move my electrical cord back about 10 inches or so, and I kind of measured this out with a little tiny X here. And I'm going to drill about right here. I can't go over any further because I have some solid wood beneath me. But I can go right to here, and I should be fine. And that way my electrical cord will come up and go right into the back with the outlet on the other cabinet. So here we go. Where's my X? There it is. Okay. And we're good. Here we are. Here is my current hole with the electrical cord going through it. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put it through this hole here. That's actually a little bit closer to the back of the cabinet now. And I'll run the electric up through there and then I'll go into the cabinet to the side. So here is my cord now coming out of a hole in the floor that's further back. So now we can go ahead and figure out where I'm going to put the outlet. So I'm going to kind of pull back a little bit here, and here's my cabinet next door that's been emptied out. Now remember, I only have about a 5-foot cord, and if you think about it, the countertops are 24 inches deep, so that's 2 feet right there. So I only have about 3 feet to play with, and I don't want to risk it. So I want to put my outlet somewhere close to obviously this side, but I also want to. I don't want to interfere with the drawer up top, and I don't want to interfere with all the cabinet or all the pans and things I'm going to put down here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put it kind of midway up on the wall back here. And that's good. So what I'm going to do though is I have to figure out a way to get my plug. Remember, I'm going to have a 3-prong plug from this side and run it through the cabinet to this side. So to do that, I need to drill a hole. I need to drill a hole that's big enough for a 3-prong plug to fit through, which happens to be about 1 inch. So what I typically do is I'm going to use one of these. It's a just kind of a drill bit, but it'll drill a hole. I went with 1 1/4 just to make sure I have some extra space, because I'm usually pretty messy with these things. But it'll be plenty of space to run an extension cord, a 3-prong plug through into this side. So I'm going to do that next. Let's test it. Boop. That's just fine. Now, this was particle board, so it did tear it up a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, so our cord is going to come through this hole like that. Now we need to figure out where we're going to put our outlet. Well, obviously this makes sense. We can come out and just plug right in. However, when you put an outlet in, you usually have a plate over it, and I'm going to have a plate over it just to kind of be on the safe side here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to space it out a little bit. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to put a 2x4 scrap wood in here to hold the outlet off of the side of the cabinet. The side of the cabinet is only particle board. I'm a little concerned about nailing this outlet box in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw this scrap piece of wood in and then put the outlet onto that scrap piece of wood. Okay, we have to drill one more hole. We have the power cord going in the hole up top where the outlet is going to be on the inside, but we still need to get power to the actual outlet. So we're going to drill a tiny hole down the bottom, in the bottom corner there, that will come in through this cabinet, and it will take the power up to the outlet. You'll see how it all works in a moment. And here's what we have. We have power line coming up to the floor into the cabinet next door, and we have the power cord from the dishwasher going into the upper hole and being ready to plug in. And now all we have to do is put the outlet up in the back. Now, what I've thought about the more I've kind of played around with this is it's really tight in this cabinet. It's hard to get in here. So I took an electrical box and I actually nailed it onto an old 2x4 scrap. So this is where I'm gonna, this is my kind of my kit here. what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually wire up the outlet and the electrical box and have everything ready to go, whole thing wired up and actually working, before I then mount it up to the upper corner of the cabinet. And I'm not going to use nails, because when I nail into particle board, it can destroy it. I've drilled 4 little holes in this 2x4 block, and I'm just going to go ahead and drive my screws into it as a final piece to kind of keep it in place. But I'm going to do all my assembly right here, instead of working up in the corner where it's a very tight space. I also have kind of luxury here. I have the luxury of extra electrical cord. You may not always have that. If you need to extend the electrical cord, if you need to extend the wiring, then you better go ahead and do the proper thing and put a junction box in. Whenever you have a split or any wires that are connected together with screws or wire tape or anything, you need to have when you have a split in the wire, you need to have a junction box that's accessible. That's just electrical code, and it's safe to do. So because I have so much extra stuff, I'm going to go ahead and just keep working with it like this. Okay, so again, here's my contraption for electrical box outlet. So what I'm going to do, because I know the power is going to come up from the bottom, I'm going to go to the back here, and I have little tabs on the back. This is a plastic box. I'm going to pop one of them out. A little bit of a screwdriver there. There, okay, it gives a little bit of a tension there. So what I'm going to do is take this wire. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to even that out now that I'm looking at that. I'm going to even it out right here, and then we'll cut and strip all these all over again. Okay. Electrical wire now cut. Electrical wire fed to the back of the box. Okay, there we go. I'm going to let that slide down for the moment. Now I'm going to strip this wire a little bit here. Okay, here we go. Razor. Pull the insulation back. And I have 3 wires, black, ground, white or neutral. Get some of that paper out of there. And we'll go ahead. Now you don't need a lot for an outlet, because you're actually going to wrap it around some little screws. And again, you just kind of squeeze it, twist it around a little bit without cutting it. Kind of pull it off, something like that. Okay. And let me cut this little tail off here. I don't have scissors handily available. I'm a little afraid of using the razor right now. So there we go. Okay. So here's your outlet. Typical 15 amp outlet. Make sure your outlet matches your breaker. This is a 15 amp, so that's good. You'll actually even say 15 or 20 on it. Mine says 15A. So the way these work is there's a green screw up top for the neutral, or sorry, for the ground. Boy, green for ground. Okay. And then on each side of the outlet, there are screws. Now the screws are different colors. Brass screws are for hot or black. Silver screws are for white or neutral. So green is ground, brass is black, white for silver or neutral. So all you need to do is tie these wires onto these screws. That's it. Okay, so what I typically do, here we go. Put that down for a sec. I'll use needle nose pliers, and I will typically make a little hook out of them. I'll put a little hook on each one. See the little hooks there? And usually they fit around the screws a little better. Alright, so let's so that's what I was afraid of. I'm going to need a little more play if I'm going to get this to fit. Well, we might be able to do it. Okay, so here's ground. So I'll kind of put that on there, and I'll kind of wrap it around. Actually, in my case, I want to flip it. I want to screw this in a little bit here. So the screw's going in nice and tight. Put that on there like this, and then I tighten it on. And there we go. Ground is on. Okay, so now I have black and I have white, and I will do the same thing with the white. I'm gonna put it there, and if you want to, you can even use your needle nose pliers to kind of bend it down if you can get in there. Bend it a little more of a hook. There we go. Just tightening it on. Come on. There we go. And then one more. The other side, black for brass. There we go. Now this is in. Okay. What I typically do as well, and different people do different things. I make sure all the connections are tight, and they are. And I will usually put a line or two of electrical tape around it. So I'll do that right now. I do that so that it's just an added barrier of protection to keep any weird moisture or dust or drops of anything off of the contacts here. There we go. There we go. And now it's all not sealed up, but it's at least a little more protected. Okay, there we go. I need one more piece. I will put a plate on, make it look nice. Okay. All right. So here we are. I'm in the back of my cabinet. It's hard to see, but I have my electrical box. I have my hole, my plug, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my drill. And I'm probably not going to be able to show you this because I'll have to put two hands in here. You won't see anything. But I'm going to drill these 4 screws into this cabinet, and it'll hold this box here, and then I'll be pretty much ready to go. I'll probably tack down the electric, and I'll be good. And here is the final product. I have my outlet screwed into the block, or nailed into the block, which is then screwed into the cabinet wall. I have my electrical power running down out of the cabinet. I did staple it. And then on this side here, I ran it down to the floor, and I also stapled there. And then here is the power cord. The last little step is to go ahead and test it out. And again, because I don't have a dishwasher to actually test it out with, my dishwasher is dead, I'm going to use a lamp. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to test it out. I have plugged in my lamp to this power outlet, which I just installed, and we're going to go ahead and flip the breaker and see if it actually works. So there you go. That's all the hard parts. It took me probably about an hour start to finish with all the little bits and pieces with filming and kind of pulling things apart and putting things back together. I still have to clean up. As you can see, I've got junk all around me here. But now it's time to go ahead and order a new dishwasher, set up the install, and to assure the installers that it's just a simple plug-in, and they'll be happy to hear that. I won't have to pay any extra fees, and we should have the dishwasher up and running in a matter of minutes when it actually is delivered. So there you go, turning a dishwasher from a hardwired dishwasher unit into an outlet unit where you can go ahead and plug in your dishwasher is really not that difficult. A little bit of know-how, a little bit of patience, and you got it made. Good luck.